Hello, welcome to this 20-minute post-climb stretch with a focus on hips and shoulders. My name is Sarah and we'll start today on our backs in Supta Baddha Konasana. You can bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out wide. We'll first start with one hand to chest, one to belly. Maybe close the eyes, just take a few breaths here as you inhale through the nose. And open mouth, let it go. Again, full breath in. Full breath out. A few more just like that. Breathe in and empty the breath out. You can choose to stay here, or we'll reach our arms up overhead, bring them to cactus arms. Find a little more opening here through the shoulders, the chest. Then continuing with that breath, we'll add a little more movement. So as you inhale, we'll straighten the arms, reach them up overhead. As you exhale, bend the elbows, hug the elbows in towards the ribs. 3 more just like that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs. 2 more, breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, inhale. And exhale, squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs. This time we'll inhale, reach up, find a lot of length here. We'll take a side bend. So with your right hand, reach for the left wrist. As you inhale, lengthen up. On your exhale, we'll hinge over towards the right. And trying to keep both shoulder blades down on the mat. Maybe keep the gaze lifted, chin out of the chest, beginning to open up through the left side. About 2 or 3 more breaths. When you feel ready, we'll come back through center, reach up through both sides of the ribs. And then taking your time, left hand reaches for the right wrist. As you inhale, lengthen. Exhale, begin to hinge over towards the left. Again, opening up through the right side of the body. Try to keep both shoulder blades down on the mat. Chin out of the chest. About 2 or 3 more breaths. When you feel about even, we'll release the bind. Inhale, reach up through center. Take a full body stretch. Then on your exhale, hug the elbows in towards the ribs. And then we'll hug the knees in towards the chest. Any little movement here, maybe draw some circles with the knees or rock side to side. An option to find a happy baby, so reaching for the soles of the feet. Let the knees come out wide to the outside of the elbows. You can lift the heels, maybe once again rocking side to side, or maybe playing with straightening one leg and then the other, beginning to open up through the hips and begin to wake up a little more through the hamstrings. Any other little movements that you need, about 2 or 3 more breaths. And stay here longer if you need. We'll make our way to half wind. Keep the right leg drawn in towards the chest. Left foot can either plant down or you can extend it long out onto the mat. Draw the right thigh in towards the right ribs, knee in the direction of the right shoulder. Beginning to create a little more compression through the right side. So maybe drawing the thigh in just a little bit closer, making little adjustments as you need to create a little more space here for the hips. A few more breaths here. Maybe take some circles through the right ankle or point and flex the toes. And stay here longer if you need. Eventually we'll transition into a twist. So plant the sole of the right foot down. Straighten the left leg if you're not already there. Press down into the right foot, lift your hips and scoot them over towards the right. Draw the right knee in towards the chest and then across the body for the twist. And trying to keep both shoulder blades grounded. Gaze can stay lifted up overhead or maybe let it fall over the right shoulder. About 7 or 8 more breaths. And 2 more breaths. And slowly, as you're ready, you can begin to unravel, come back through center, realign the hips. Movement here, if you'd like, you can windshield wiper the legs, maybe find a happy baby. And then on your own time, we'll make our way half wind on the left. Draw the left leg in towards the chest, left thigh in towards the left ribs, knee in the direction of the left shoulder. Option again to plant the sole of the right foot down or extend it out long if it feels okay in the low back and the hip flexors. Begin to create some compression through the left side this time, drawing the thigh in towards the ribs. Maybe just a subtle little movement, wiggle through the hips to create a little more compression. A few more breaths here. Maybe take some circles or point and flex the left toes. And feel free to stay here longer if you need. When you're ready, we'll set up for a twist. This time we'll plant the sole of the left foot down. Straighten the right leg if you're not already there. Press down, lift your hips, scoot them over towards the left side of the mat. And then draw the knee in towards the chest, then across the body for the twist. Again, both shoulder blades stay grounded. Gaze can stay lifted, or if it feels okay in the neck, you can let it fall over the left shoulder. About 7 to 8 breaths on this side. About 2 or 3 more breaths. When you feel about even, we'll come back through center, realign the hips. Any little movement, once again, you can hug the legs in towards the chest, happy baby, maybe windshield wiper the legs side to side, release through the low back. And making our way to bridge pose, we'll take some hip lifts with this before we hold. So bend your knees, plant your feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, making sure knees are stacked up over the ankles. Hands by your sides, palms facing up. Moving with the breath. As you're ready, press into the feet. Inhale, begin to lift the hips as you sweep the arms up overhead. Keep reaching till biceps are by the ears, and then hips are lifted up high. On your exhale, flip the palms to face towards the sky. As you exhale, lower the hips, lower the arms down by your sides. 3 more just like that. Palms facing up, press down, inhale, lift up, sweep the arms up overhead, breathe in. As you exhale, flip the palms, begin to lower the hips, the arms. 2 more, inhale. And exhale. Last one, breathe in. Breathe out. We'll lower the hips all the way down, hands by your sides. Take a breath or two here. If you need to take any little movements, more than welcome. We'll take a final bridge. This time we'll hold for a few breaths. As you're ready, we'll press into the feet, lift the hips. Stay strong through the legs. Hands stay by your sides, or option, you can interlace the hands underneath the hips. Keep the arms straight. If your fingers are interlaced, you can really press into the forearms, maybe even walk the shoulder blades in a little bit closer. Press down strong to the legs, maybe strong into the arms if you have the bind. 3 more breaths. And take another full breath in. See if you can press down, lift up. On your exhale, release the hands, lower the hips. Again, any little movement here, lower the knees over towards one side then the other. Windshield wiper the legs, release through the low back. And take your time, we'll make our way to a traction twist. So keeping the knees bent, feet planted, we'll heel toe the feet out wide towards the edges of the mat, or maybe even a little bit wider. Let the knees fall over towards the right side. And then gazing up, making sure the left knee is pointing straight away from you. So maybe heel toeing the left foot a bit over towards the left side to find that alignment. Trying to find about a 90-degree bend in the left leg and then flex the toes towards the shin to protect the knee. So finding a little drop knee shape here through the hips. Once you found that alignment, you can lower the head back down. Option, if there is some pinching in the left knee, you can either slide your foot underneath to support it, or if you have a block or blanket, you can also add that underneath. About 6 or 7 more breaths here. A few more breaths. If it feels okay in the left knee or the left hip, you have the option to take your right foot and rest it on top of the left thigh for a little self-assist. About 2 or 3 more breaths. And stay longer if you'd like. When you're ready, you can release the feet, plant them out wide, windshield wiper side to side. And then on your own time, we'll take that to the other side. So feet are about towards the edges of the mat, maybe even wider. This time, knees fall over towards the left. And checking that alignment, so looking up for just a moment, making sure the right knee is pointing straight away from you. So knee is in line with the hip. So maybe heel toeing the right foot over towards the right side, and then trying to find about a 90-degree bend in the right leg, flex the toes towards the shin to protect the knee. Each side's a little different, so if you need support underneath the right knee, you can add that either with a foot or a prop. When you found that alignment, you can release the head back down. And then breathing here. A few more breaths. If you want to take that self-assist and it feels okay in the right knee, you can take your left foot and rest it on the outer right thigh. And when you feel about even, you can release the feet, plant them down onto the mat. Movement here, windshield wiper the legs, or maybe hug them in towards the chest, find a happy baby. And then slowly we'll make our way up into a seat and we'll take a seated forward fold. Legs can extend out long in front of you. Working here to first sit up nice and tall, stack shoulders over hips. Option to place your hands on either side of your thighs, press down, lift your hips, and then scoot them back. Preparing for the fold, as you inhale, reach the arms up overhead, lengthen through the spine. On your exhale, reach nose to toes, chin to shin. Then soft or generous bend in the knees as you'd like. Hands can reach for shins, maybe ankles or feet. About 7 or 8 breaths here. We're about halfway. You can maybe find a little more space by wiggling the hips back or melting the chest forward. And feel free to linger if you need. When you're ready, inhale, we'll lift back up. You can bend your legs, plant the feet, give it a little shake or windshield wiper side to side. We'll find reverse table or reverse plank. So plant the hands behind the hips. Fingers can point any direction that feels good in the shoulders or the wrists. For a reverse table, you'll bend your knees, plant your feet. For a reverse plank, you'll straighten the legs, keep the heels down on the mat. When you're ready, press down into the hands, lift the hips. Gaze can stay forward, or if it feels okay in the neck, you can let it fall back. About 3 more breaths. When you're ready, you can lower the hips back down. Any last little movements here? And eventually we'll make our way to a comfortable seat. Option to cross the legs or maybe sit up on the knees. We'll seal our practice with a single breath. Option to close the eyes. When you're ready, take a full breath in, fill up through belly, ribs, chest, sip in a little more air, hold at the top. Open mouth, let something go. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me, and I hope to be with you next time you're on your mat.